Well, hello. How are you guys doing today? I just left my favorite crumble cookies over here from doing a review, and I am on my way home in quitting hour traffic. It is literally 5 o'clock on the dot, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to make it home. I think by going and snaking through the strip mall to get to the road that I need to get to is probably the easiest way. But I had another idea for a video that I was gonna do over here today. And then I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna get on here and just like talk for a little bit about this thing that was just going through my mind. By the way, this Marsh grocery store, my friend Melissa and I are still devastated that it is closed. Okay, and it's like this abandoned grocery store. You know what? I'm obsessed with those videos. This is kind of like a mini vlog. I'm kind of obsessed with those videos. Well, I'm not kind of, I am. Oh my God, that door is open right there. You could go inside. Have you guys seen the abandoned videos on, and there's no Splenda in this. Have you guys seen the abandoned videos on YouTube? Like, abandoned water parks are my favorite, but abandoned amusement parks, abandoned houses, there's like a whole community of it on YouTube, and I just sit there and I watch them like for hours. I love them. Anyway, I was having this thought about names, okay? I love names, and especially when people have different names, like names that are not common names that you hear like every day. I love to know what like the story is behind the name, right? So I just went through Starbucks, and I went through a Starbucks that I don't typically go to because the construction is so crazy right now in Indianapolis that for me to go to the Starbucks that I usually go to, I would have had to have like got stuck in traffic like twice, and why waste the time, right? So I went to this other Starbucks, which then it occurred to me on my way there, I was like, why don't I go to this Starbucks more often? Because it's actually closer to me than the other Starbucks. But I'm such a creature of comfort that I just like the other Starbucks more. Anyway, so I'm pulling through and I order my coffee and everything. A venti iced blonde Americano with an extra shot and 2 Splenda, and there's no Splenda in it. Yeah, there's no, it's okay. We'll add some when we get home, so it's fine, you know. But anyway, so I'm talking to he was waiting for me to get my coffee made, and it was this kid, and real friendly, and he had a real different name, and it was like the name of a city, okay? So I'm not gonna call him out, but let's just say if his name was like Paris, okay? But instead of spelling his name Paris, P-A-R-I-S, he spelled it like P-A-R-Y-S, right? And I said, oh, I love your name. And he said, oh, thanks. And he went right into it. I didn't even have to ask him the story behind the name, which I love that, you know, you don't have to ask people the stories behind names. And he said, my mom had a dream the night before I was born that this was going to be my name. And she hadn't even thought of that name before. And he said, my name was actually supposed to be something else. Let's just say Tex. Or Hank, because it was a rather Western name. So anyway, so I said, I love that story. I said, I love when names have like stories to them, you know, like Peter, okay? Like my mom named me Peter for several reasons, because she loved Peter the Apostle in the Bible. It was her favorite apostle. And there were reasons why he was her favorite apostle. And then also because she loved Pete Seeger, the folk singer. And also she felt like when I was a kid, I could be like Peter. And then when I was like in my 20s to my friends, I could be like Pete. And then as I got, you know, older and professional, she thought this all through. You know, she apparently had my whole professional life planned out for me, of which I didn't really have much. But so anyway, then I could be Peter again. And then in my older age, I could be like Old Man Pete, see? Which is funny because my mom never called me Pete. My dad and my stepmom and like most of the people that know me through my dad call me Pete. My husband and my friend Tanya call me Pete only to be really endearing, but they don't call me Pete very often, right? Okay. So I'm telling this kid, you know, we're talking about names and the importance of names, and I'm telling him why I love names, and his characters in books, I love names and stuff like that, right? And he was like, yeah, I love names too. And he's like, and I always remember names and whatever. And then he goes, anyway, he goes, here's your coffee. It's nice talking to you, James. And I was like, I was so stunned, I didn't even know what to say. I was like, he didn't listen to a word I said. Anyway, I guess I'm old man Pete. Nobody's listening to me. But I do like, that'll get ya. I used to, back in the day, just love black coffee. I think I thought it was very, like, French or something, or, you know, I very much imagined myself as being, like, an expatriate back in the day, you know, and fleeing to Paris and hanging out with Ernest Hemingway and F. Scott Fitzgerald and his wife Zelda, and, you know, Gertrude Stein and that whole crew. Of course, I missed them by about 80 years, though, didn't I? But today, people are like, God, you look just like Ernest Hemingway. I'm like, I'm surprised that people even know who Ernest Hemingway is. But I have to tell you, that true story, like, when anybody, like, the most that people compare me to a celebrity is Ernest Hemingway, always. And they're like, God, you look just like Ernest Hemingway. I'm like, thanks. But anyway, I mean, I do kind of think that's kind of flattering, but didn't Ernest Hemingway always look old? I think he always kind of looked old, you know? I love some of Ernest Hemingway's books. Now, I have to say, I'm much more of, this car is on my tail. I'm much more of an F. Scott Fitzgerald fan. I love Tender as the Night. Now, I did love Hemingway's last book, which was called Garden of Eden. He didn't even finish it, I don't believe. I read it years and years and years ago, but I love Tender as the Night. What's the Hemingway book that, why can't I think of it? I'm thinking As We Lay Dying, but that's Faulkner. The Hemingway book that is kind of very similar to Tender as the Night. I can't think of what that book is called. Anyway, I was kind of like weirdly obsessed with that era for a while. I drank a lot. This is when I was drinking, and I drank a lot of ouzo and acted like it was absinthe, because that's what they drank back in the day, you know. And would sit on my back patio, and I smoked these cigarettes called Chitons that were from France. I really thought I was somebody, didn't I? This was like 20-year-old Peter, you know. Why can't I think of what that Hemingway book is called? Anyway. I love names. I love reading names in, like, books. But, you know, sometimes, like, when you read names in books, especially, like, if you read a lot of young adult, like, I like young adult. There is some fantastic young adult out there, you know, books. But when you read them, like, it's almost kind of like, you know, when you see those, like, those Instagram couture models, you know, but now they're like family bloggers, and so it's like they're married and they have 3 kids, and they have 3 of the most adorable kids who they dress like in matching adorable outfits, and their names are like all like B letters, you know, because like the Instagram model, her name starts with a B and her husband's name starts with a B, and their last name was of course a B because she probably married somebody that had a BB name, like Bobby Brown. Not the Bobby Brown, but a Bobby Brown. And so like all the kids' names are B names, and their names are like Betty Boot Brown, to be real cute, you know, because like we don't take names too seriously. There's like a whole storyline to that too, you know. And then it's like Burke, because you know it's like a real popular name right now. And then it's like Bunny, because they have to be real cute. You know, it's like I kind of actually like that name, Bunny. Now that I think about it, I kind of like Betty too. I need to think my stories through a little bit better, but y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? It's this apple, pear, lemon nonsense that these celebrities are naming their kids. I kind of like it sometimes, though. I have to be honest with you. Like, sometimes I kind of do like it. I like different names. I do. And I love names that have a story to it. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't mind that what Kim Kardashian named her baby, you know, a direction, but I just wish she would have had 4 babies and named them North, South, East, and West. That's just what I would have wished, you know? Like, now that's a story. That's a story, Morning Glory. But anyway. I do love stories. I mean, I love names, and I love names that have stories, is what I was going to say. I've lost my mind. It's so funny to me when, like, people will ask us what our dogs' names are, and I always say, like, Tucker and Boo Radley. And then, like, if it's, like, you know, like a neighbor or something, they'll, like, leave some treats or whatever, and then they'll say, and I'm not calling anybody out on that's watching my videos right now, but, like, this is, like, neighbor stuff, right? And then they'll say, here's some milk treats for Tucker, and then they'll say, like, Boo Ridley. Like Ridley Scott, the director, you know? And I'm like, well, you obviously didn't read To Kill a Mockingbird when you were in 7th grade. Like, we would just randomly give our dog some last name, you know? Like, you call your dog, like, I don't know, like Max Smith Jones or something. Why would we just give our dogs Boo Ridley? And I have had people ask me, they're like, what is Boo Ridley? Like, who is Boo Ridley? What does that mean? And I'm like, well, it's actually Boo Radley, and he was a character in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. So, they're always like, oh, really? Yeah, I didn't read that in school. I'm like, yeah, I guess. This is very much not a Tanya, Jean, and Peter conversation. This is very much a conversation that I would have with my cousin Caroline. Anyway, oh well. Now you guys are in the shadows of the day. James. Cheers to James, wherever you are. May your coffee come the way that you want it prepared. Not black, but with 2 Splenda. Here's to James, wherever you are. Cheers, cheers to James. Oh, God. Today is a good day to be alive. I love when I go to meetings and my friends say, you know, it's a good day to be alive, it's a good day to be sober. It keeps you grounded in that gratitude, you know? My second sponsor used to always say to me, which incidentally, this is kind of a sad story, but he passed away from a heroin overdose. He used to always say, every day that you wake up, that you're not 6 feet under and you're still breathing, is a good day to be alive. I've had some days that are questionable, though, I will say that. But it's a beautiful day today. It's a spotting of clouds. It's 79 degrees outside. It's like an early fall day, which makes sense because the kids are back in school, you know? So, I always like would go school clothes shopping, and then I would have like corduroy pants and sweater vests and stuff, and I'd want to wear them right away because, of course, I loved the fashions, you know, as a gay little kid in the middle of Indiana. I loved the fashions, so I wanted to display my fashions at school. But in Indiana, when you go back to school in August, it's like 110 degrees, and there I am in corduroy pants and a sweater vest. True story, though. It was the truth all day long. But I looked good. I did, though. I looked good. I was the best dresser in my class. They didn't tell me that. They were mean to me. They were horrible boys and girls to me. They were not nice. They were not nice at all. But anyway, that's for another day. All right, you guys, I just wanted to come on here and share my story and to give a little dedication to James, wherever he is. James, we love you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.